Hi, Steven. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Kate. I appreciate you having me.
Tell us, please, about yourself.
Okay. I'm Steve Avery. I've been in the New York area about 21 years, and I've always wanted to get more involved in the community, and I've been involved in various other nonprofits board in the past, and I was looking at doing something more arts related. I found this organization, Chamber Orchestra New York, through a group called BoardNet. It's no longer around, but it was basically a big database that kind of helped match people who have skills and interest in helping out various nonprofits. They put down their various interests, what they want to help out on, and there's also the various nonprofits who are looking at people with various skills. And if there's a match, you meet up and see if you can, there's chemistry there, and seeing if about joining the board. And that's how I kind of came across Chamber Orchestra of New York. The gentleman who was the founder, the maestro, Salvatore Di Vittorio, we have a very strong relationship. I think sometimes it's a little area where I might be thinking of something and I'll call him, or vice versa, and he's thinking about the very same thing. So a lot of times we're somewhat on the same wavelength, as they say. Sometimes we finish each other's sentences. That's kind of the relationship at times. He's a brilliant artistic mind, very creative. He and Santa Maria, our orchestra manager, and his spouse, and she's also a musician as well. They're very sweet people. And I really believe in the mission they have in this organization, trying over there to advance the careers of these musicians. We all know how difficult it is in a very competitive environment. These musicians are amazing. I think we have a very good atmosphere we provide for these musicians, very good chemistry, and I kind of describe our organization providing a somewhat familial feel to it, where it's not necessarily just transactional, where they really want to be together. And one of the most telling aspects, I can think of a story, is right as we were coming out of COVID, and they hadn't seen each other for a while. And we had this party where there was a performance for some patrons. And you see a couple of the violinists who've been with each other playing for a long time, and they had the biggest smiles on their faces, like, longtime friends who hadn't seen each other for quite a while. And that was just that expression. Their body language was basically, it told everything you needed to know. And I think we have a very great organization. Salvatore obviously handles the artistic side. I handle more of the business type focus, looking at the numbers, kind of helping out some of the marketing. And we have a very good dynamic. I don't go around and try to encroach on his side per se, but I do give feedback, and he appreciates that, I believe. And we have a lot of respect for each other. We've gone through some pretty choppy times with the COVID and trying to regain our footing, so to speak, just like a lot of other organizations whenever everything was shut down. But we have a very good group of people, very passionate about the organization, and I think we bring a very good product, and I'm very happy to be able to contribute my time and efforts, and having people where there's great chemistry, and helping to move the organization forward, and helping the musicians move on to bigger and better things.
Sounds so good. And I was lucky enough to attend a couple of your concerts.
Right.
And it really feels like that when you're there, that it's a really like a community, or like, I don't know, even family.
Right.
And it feels like everybody's like supporting each other, like, and yeah, and I do believe that it helps for the music to bloom better for people who are coming to listen to it. Tell us a bit more about your personal process, like what are you doing, like in this orchestra?
Well, a big part of it is we think about various projects we want to work on. I think what the issue, we have a fantastic product. The areas of people who are in the inner circle of the performing arts area in New York City, they know about us, right? But we need to get beyond that group. And that's what I always say is if people don't know about us, they don't know about us, right? It's that tautology. So I keep beating the drum that our role is both to market on a retail level, like talking to you or anyone else individually, but also to wholesale pitch the organization, which we have through the arts magazine that you provided. And what I try to do is do more on the administration side with the financing, saying this is where we can allocate some funds for these types of projects. And for a better word, I always consider myself, when people ask me, oh, being the board president, I said, well, I consider myself basically the head cheerleader, right? I'm over there trying to pitch the organization as a whole. And we're still relatively small, but we've grown very rapidly given where we were. I've been there about 10 years with the board, and from where we were then versus now, it's a difference between night and day. And I think that there's bigger and better things coming. We're getting more notoriety, particularly on the international level. And I expect some big things to happen. Of course, the rest of the world is starting to acknowledge Salvatore's talent. He's a composer as well, done quite well with that. And people appreciate the offerings we had. This recent performance in Germany was very well received. And the indication we have is there's probably more opportunities for there, hopefully, in a few years.
And speaking about the future, tell us more about your upcoming concert.
We're going to have our the 250 celebration for the orchestra or for the country, and Salvatore has provided his own composition. We actually gave him an opportunity to do that. The organization did, and it's going to focus, of course, about more of the history of the country. He's titled Americas, which is kind of the old name given to the United States early on a map. And we want to have various themes. I think there's going to come more of a Sousa type theme on one aspect that kind of is more of a celebratory type performance. And we think that'll get a lot of attention. So
we cannot wait to attend it as well. And I'm also going to ask you a personal question.
Okay.
What is your dream?
What is my dream?
Yes. What is, because dreams is something that drives us in every aspect of our life. And, especially when I'm taking photographs, I always think about this timing, freezing time or speeding, and how life goes on. And that's how, as a photographer, I'm asking, what is the dream? What drives you?
This might sound hard to believe, but this is kind of how I look at most things in general. Whatever role I play, whether it's at an orchestra or if it's in some type of career role, I want to make people's lives better, in a nutshell. And whether it's to have a more fulfilling life by having these beautiful works of art being performed for them, if it's able to move an organization forward like Chamber Orchestra in New York, because they need to have, all organizations need to have that catalyst, that force that's going to drive it. And that's where I think I've really helped out the organization is here's a project that we really need to work on, but you have to have the energy to drive that forward because everybody's trying to figure things out. And sometimes you have to figure things out as you go along the way, right? And so that's how I really kind of look at it is whatever I do, that's what brings joy to me is helping others. Absolutely. And being a good teammate, being a good collaborator with others, and that's what makes me happy.
That sounds so good. I would say that, like, art is something that changed the world for other people. This is like images or music or any form of art. But any art needs a superhero behind. So apparently, you are that superhero who helps that happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kate. I appreciate it.
Thank you for this amazing conversation.
Appreciate it.
Very nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. I think one of the most important aspects of the organization as a whole is we're very resilient. We've gone, for a better word, through hell and back with all the issues going on and so forth. But we're still standing and stronger. And of course, at least for performance-wise, we're so tied into the musicians, how the performances come out. And we've, for a better word, dodged some bullets several times by saying a musician can't show up, and like a soloist or something like that. And Salvatore and I have, I don't know, maybe somewhat of a sibling type relationship where we kind of tease each other and put things in perspective, and like, this is how it is. We're just gonna have to figure something out whenever things have gotten a little choppy. And we've had several times where, like I said, some of the musicians might not be able to show up. We had this one where I think it might have been on a Monday, and the performance, I believe, was on a Thursday. And the soloist was a pianist, and she hurt her hand.
Ooh.
And so I was out of town, and Salvatore calls me like on a Monday morning. He goes, "Are you sitting down?" I'm like, "Oh, here we go again." And he goes, "Well, the soloist hurt her hand. She's not going to be able to play." Wow. I'm like, "Oh," and it's a very difficult piece by Mozart. So he was able to track down this performer. I think he was from Spain. And he just so happened to be in town. He was getting ready to go back to Spain. We were able to lock him down. And the guy was phenomenal. He started performing, and he was closing his eyes and just feeling it.
Wow.
And he got a standing ovation. But we kind of, because we've gone through so many of these near misses, right? And I kind of like, here we go again. I kind of joke around just to break the ice. And like, for instance, for this pianist, whenever I heard she wasn't going to perform, I said, well, I'll get up there and I'll perform chopsticks for the group. But I said, but it's not any version that anyone's ever heard, and all the patrons are going to want their money back, right? And I'll take one for the team, right? And so he goes, "Oh, this person's not going to be able to perform." I said, "Well, I'll get up there and do a slide whistle. I can do that. I'm not really a musician, but I'm just kind of put things in perspective." And so he mentioned this other time, and I said, "Look, this is kind of a metaphor for life." I said, life is a series of curveballs that is thrown to you. It's how you respond to those curveballs.
Yeah.
You have to continue to step up to the plate. And so he was joking around. He goes, "Yeah, I just kind of wish I was the one throwing the curveball versus being on the receiving end." So we have a good relationship, and I consider them very good people. And kind of the metric I use is, are they worth emulating? Okay. That's about the highest, I guess you could say, compliment I can give. These people with strong character and good people and so forth, are they worth emulating? And I would say they clear that hurdle by a wide margin. So that makes all the difference in the world.